So hello guys, today we are going to learn about electric circuit and current. So in this part, I'll be covering the current part, the electric current, and in the next video, I'll be teaching you the electric circuit. What is electricity? Electricity is a form of energy resulting from existence of a charged particle either statically as an accumulation of charge or dynamically as a current. So electricity is an energy that is the result of charged particles. If you know what is charged particles are the subatomic particles who carries charge. Like for example, if you have studied subatomic particle, proton has positive charge, electron have negative charge, and neutron have no charge. So that's how subatomic particles and charged particles work. Next we are going to study about the nature of charged particles. Like charged particles repel, unlike charged particles attract. For example, if you have ever seen a magnet, so what happens is that if you put two like poles together, so what will happen is it will repel, because south will repel. It is a nature, it is a convention, no one can define how it is. And but when we put unlike charged particles, they attract each other. Next, how to charge a body. You all know that what is charged body. Now how we charge the body. So ways to charge a body is friction, conduction. We are going to learn about these two. There's also many methods like induction, but we are not going to talk about that. So charging a body by friction. So when insulating material rub against each other, they may be electrically charged. Electrons which are negatively charged may be rubbed off one material and onto the other. The material that gains electrons become negatively charged. So what happens is, this is a fun experiment. You should do this. Wait. This is a fun experiment. So what you do is you put a ruler or scale, you call it, and you rub it on your hair. This is my hair, and you put the ruler here and rub it for some time. Then what will happen is, as referred to the above statements, that the negatively charged electrons will move from here to ruler because of rubbing together. And when we take the ruler near paper, the positive charged particles called protons will attract the electrons and they'll stick to each other. Now, if we talk about charging a body by conduction. Charging a body by conduction involves the contact of a charged object to a neutral object. Hence, when an uncharged conductor is brought in contact with a charged conductor, the uncharged conductor is brought in contact with a charged conductor, charge is shared between the two conductors, and hence the uncharged conductor gets charged. So what happen is, like for example, make sure to note that charging a body by friction works on insulators. Why? Charging a body by conduction involves conductors. I'll tell you what are insulators and conductors. So we have a small ball, you can say metal ball. So we have a metal ball here and a silk cloth. So when we rub a neutral ball, metal ball, and silk together, what will happen is the electrons will come out of the silk and will go to the uh, neutral charged ball, metal ball, and the electrons will move to the neutron ball. So what will happen is the ball will get negatively charged because electrons carry negative charge. Now we talk about electroscope. This is just an extra topic. You don't need this for your exams or anything, but it's an extra thing to know. So what is electroscope? It is a device used to detect the presence of a charge. Sorry, it is changed. It is charge on a body and its nature. The thing is, here are some positive. I take, for example, I have taken glass foil leaves here. So what happens is we take glass foil, gold foil leaf, and put it in the light straw thing, and with the metal plates here, it carries all the electrons because the electrons in the gold foil leaves will the electrons will go to the metal cap because of friction. And then we have another rod here which is positive charged. So what happens is they attract each other. So that's how we know that this object is negative. And now we talk about materials. So there are three types of material: conductor, semiconductor, insulator. Just these of all. And so what is conductor? Conductors are the substance which allow electricity to flow through it. For example, the most common conductors are copper, aluminium, silver, iron. And we talk about semiconductors. Semiconductors are the substance which allow electricity to flow through it. We can increase their conductance by adding impurities. If you have heard of semiconductor called silicon, it is a material, it is an element used in the chips that are in computer. So what happens is, if you for example, if I have taken silicon here, silicon, if the silicon is pure, if the silicon here is pure, wait for a second, sorry, pure, for sorry, pixel eraser, yeah. So the more the pure silicon is, the more pure the semiconductor is, more pure it is, the less conductive it is. But when we add impurities, so the purity goes down and conductance go up, like this. So many examples are there. The most common is silicon and germanium. The next one is insulator. Insulators are the substance which doesn't allow electricity to flow through it. You all know about insulators. For example, plastic and wood. Then we talk about why the conductors are conductive and the insulators are not conductive. So conductors contain a lot of free charges in them, like this. These are the extra charges I am making here. So these charges are called electrons. So the flow of charges, the flow of charge uh, is called electricity. The thing is, only electrons flow, proton does not flow. So electrons are the ones which make difference in conductance or insulators. Then we talk about semiconductors. Semiconductor have some charges, there are electrons, and like I told you earlier, the more pure it is, the less the charges are. But when we add impurities, charges, the conductance is increased. Then we talk about insulators. Insulators have very less or zero free charges. Then we talk about electric current. Electric current, rate of flow of charge is called electric current. Current always flows opposite to the flow of charge. So what is current? Current is the rate of flow of charge. Like for example, I give you a simple circuit, uh, like here, and uh, here I have the gap, and this is the cell. This is symbol of cell, and I have a bulb here, and always make sure the longer side is the positive and the smaller side is negative. So electrons always flow, uh, as I told you earlier. So electrons will flow like this, and current is opposite to the flow of charge. So uh, then current will flow like this. That is the current. Hope you have hope I have cleared all the doubts. And then we have current. Current equals charge upon time, or the mathematical formula for it with symbols is I is equal to Q upon T, where I is the current, Q is the charge, and T is the time. So the unit of charge is coulomb, and the unit of time is seconds. So the current is measured in coulomb per second, also known as ampere. Then I have a question here. If a wire having big entry and small exit uh, have an input of 5 ampere, then what will be the output? Take your time, guess. You can pause the video if you want. Now we come to the answer. The answer is 5 ampere, because the size of the wire does not matter. Uh, like if we take a very thin wire, uh, at the time of input only the wire will melt, so output will not be there. But if we take a big wire and it has a small exit, then the uh, output is equals to input. Then potential difference. What is potential difference? Potential difference is work done on a unit positive charge to move from A to B. Like I have taken one charge, uh, one electron, uh, it is measured in coulomb. So I have taken 1 coulomb, and the work done, the energy required to move 1 coulomb from A to B is 1 joule. Then What is the potential difference between A to B? Potential difference is like water flow. Water always flow from high to low. If I give you an example, these are the mountains. So the water goes up or down. Obviously the water goes down. That's how potential difference also works, kind of. The point having more potential uh, uh, gives current, sorry, gives uh, what you say, potential to the point that has less potential. So potential, the formula for it is, I'm really sorry. The formula for it is potential difference is equal to work done upon charge. So delta V, this triangle is called delta. Delta V is equal to W, work done upon charge. The SI unit of potential difference is volt. So when we if we have to solve this question, let's take the formula. uh, Delta V is equal to W upon Q. Then delta V is equal to 1 upon 1. 1 upon 1 is 1. Hence, the potential difference between A to B is 1 volt. First, you solve this question yourself. Calculate the potential difference between 2 points. 1500 joules of work is done to carry a charge of 50 C from one point to another. What would be the potential difference? This is the formula. Uh, this is the formula to solve the question. I think you must pause the video and solve it first. Then I'll show you the answer. So let's come to the answer. As we talked earlier, delta V is equal to W upon Q. Then delta V is equal to 1500 upon 30. So 1500 upon 30 is equal to 30. So potential difference is equal to 30. Hence the potential difference between the 2 points is 30 volts. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll give my next video around 1 week later, and I have a video coming on elephant's toothpaste and also my iPad review. Thanks for watching, guys.